I've always liked horror movies. Not the over-the-top slashers with screaming teens and buckets of blood, but the quiet ones. The ones that creep under your skin and sit there, heavy and cold, long after the credits roll. Last Friday night, I found one like that. It was called Fringes, some low-budget indie flick I'd stumbled across on a streaming site. The cover was just a blurry shadow against a gray background. No tagline, no hype. I figured it'd be a good way to kill a couple hours before bed. I didn't know it'd kill something else in me instead. I live alone in a one-bedroom apartment, 3rd floor. Nothing fancy. The living room's small, just a sagging couch, a coffee table with a chipped edge, and a TV I got secondhand. The walls are thin, so I hear the neighbors sometimes. Mrs. Carter's TV blaring game shows, the guy upstairs pacing at odd hours. That night, though, it was quiet. I turned off the overhead light, let the TV's glow fill the room, and hit play. Fringes started slow. No jump scares, no music swelling to warn you. Just a guy, some nobody like me, sitting in his house, noticing things. Shadows that didn't match the light. Shapes that flickered at the corners of his eyes. The movie never showed the monsters outright, not really. They were always just out of focus. A smudge on the lens, a ripple in the air. The guy would turn his head and they'd be gone. But you knew they were there. You felt them. By the end, he was a wreck, screaming at nothing, clawing at his face, begging them to stop watching him. The screen cut to black, no explanation. I sat there staring at my reflection in the dark TV, my chest tight. It was stupid, I told myself. Just a movie. I went to bed. That was Friday. Saturday passed normal enough. Work, groceries, takeout. But Sunday night, I woke up. Not the slow, groggy kind of waking where you roll over and check the clock. This was sharp, like something yanked me out of sleep. My eyes snapped open, and I was lying on my back, staring at the ceiling. The room was dark, the kind of dark where shapes blur into each other, but I could still make out the faint outline of the fan above me, its blades still. My heart was pounding, loud in my ears, and I didn't know why. I stayed there a minute, breathing slow, trying to shake it off. The clock on my nightstand glowed 2:47 a.m. in red digits. I turned my head to the right, toward the window. The blinds were half open, letting in slivers of streetlight that striped the floor. Nothing moved out there, just the empty parking lot 3 stories down. I rolled my head back, closed my eyes, and told myself to go back to sleep. That's when I saw it. It wasn't a shape, not at first. It was a flicker, a twitch in the dark, right where my vision tapered off to the left. I opened my eyes again, wide this time, and turned my head slow, real slow, toward it. The corner by my dresser, where the wall meets the ceiling, was empty, just shadow. But I swear, a second ago, something had been there. Something tall, thin, bent in a way that didn't fit the angles of the room. My mouth went dry. I didn't move. I just stared, waiting for it to happen again. It didn't. The room stayed still, silent except for the faint hum of the fridge in the kitchen down the hall. I sat up, the mattress creaking under me, and swung my legs over the side of the bed. My bare feet hit the cold hardwood, and I winced. I reached for the lamp on my nightstand, fumbling with the switch. Click. The light spilled out, weak and yellow, barely reaching the corners. I scanned the room. Dresser, chair with yesterday's jeans slung over it. Closet door cracked open an inch. Nothing. I let out a shaky laugh, rubbed my face with both hands. Get a grip, man, I muttered. Too much Fringes, that's all it was. My brain playing tricks. I stood up, joints popping, and shuffled to the bathroom. The hall was narrow, the carpet worn thin under my feet. I didn't turn on the hall light, didn't want to wake myself up too much. The bathroom door was ajar, and I pushed it open, the hinges squeaking. I flicked the switch and the fluorescent bulb buzzed to life, harsh against the white tiles. I leaned over the sink, turned on the tap, and splashed cold water on my face. It stung my eyes, dripped down my chin. I grabbed the towel off the rack, pressed it to my skin, and looked up at the mirror. Something moved behind me. I froze, towel still against my mouth, eyes locked on the glass. The reflection showed the open door, the dark hallway beyond. And there, just for a split second, a shadow shifted. Not a person, not an animal. Something long, jagged, like a crack in the air. I dropped the towel, spun around, heart slamming against my ribs. The doorway was empty. Just the hall, stretching back into the dark, the living room a faint gray blur at the end. I stood there, breathing hard, water still trickling down my neck. My hands shook as I gripped the sink behind me, the porcelain cold under my fingers. I didn't want to move, didn't want to step out there. But I couldn't stay in the bathroom all night, staring at nothing. I took a step, slow, my toes curling against the tile. Then another. I reached the doorway, peeked out. The hall was still. I flipped the bathroom light off, and the darkness swallowed everything again. Back in my room, I left the lamp on. I climbed into bed, pulled the blanket up to my chin, and lay there, eyes darting to every corner. The clock ticked over to 3:12 a.m. I told myself it was nothing. Shadows, tired eyes, a dumb movie messing with my head. I closed my eyes, forced my breathing to slow. Sleep came eventually, fitful and shallow, but it came. Monday morning, I woke up exhausted. The lamp was still on, the room washed in that sickly yellow glow. I got ready for work. Shower, coffee, toast, and tried to shake it off. The day dragged, my head foggy, but nothing weird happened. By the time I got home, I was ready to crash. I microwaved some leftovers, ate on the couch, and flipped on the TV. No horror tonight, just some mindless sitcom. I fell asleep there, the laugh track buzzing in the background. I woke up again that night. Same jolt, same racing heart. The TV was off, must have timed out, and the room was pitch black. I sat up, the couch springs groaning under me, and rubbed my eyes. The clock on the microwave blinked 2:53 a.m. I stretched, my neck stiff, and stood up to head to bed. That's when I saw it again. In the corner by the TVs, where the screen's edge met the wall, something flickered. I stopped dead, my breath catching. It wasn't a shadow this time. It moved, quick and jerky, like a spider scuttling out of sight. I turned my head, slow, tracking it. Nothing. Just the blank wall, the TV's dark glass. My skin prickled, every hair standing up. I took a step back, my heel bumping the coffee table. The remote clattered to the floor, loud in the silence. I didn't want to look away from that corner, but I had to. I bent down, eyes still half on it, and grabbed the remote. When I straightened up, the room felt wrong. Thicker, somehow, like the air had weight. I backed toward the hall, keeping the corner in my sight. My shoulder brushed the wall, and I flinched, spinning around. The hallway stretched out, black as ink. The bedroom door a faint outline at the end. I walked fast, my socks sliding on the hardwood. I didn't look back. Couldn't. My hand fumbled for the bedroom light switch, flicked it on. The lamp was still burning from last night, and the double glow made the room too bright, too sharp. I shut the door behind me harder than I meant to and leaned against it, chest heaving. I didn't sleep much after that. Every creak of the building, every hum from the street, had me sitting up, staring at the corners. By morning, my eyes were bloodshot, my hands jittery. I called out of work, said I was sick, and stayed home, pacing the apartment. I kept the lights on, all of them, even in daylight, and I didn't watch TV, didn't touch my phone, just sat on the couch, watching the walls. Tuesday night, it got worse. I'd nodded off around midnight, slumped against the armrest. When I woke up, the room was dark. Not just dim. Dark. Every light was off, even the ones I'd left blazing. The clock on the microwave was blank, the red digits gone. I sat up, slow, my mouth dry as sand. The silence was thick, pressing against my ears. No fridge hum, no neighbor sounds, just me, breathing loud in my own head. I reached for the lamp by the couch, clicked it. Nothing. I clicked again, harder. Dead. My stomach twisted. I stood up, legs shaky, and felt my way to the wall switch. Flicked it. Nothing. Power outage, I thought. Had to be. I stumbled to the window, pulled the blinds up. The streetlights were on, steady and orange. The parking lot glowed, cars glinting under the lamps. My power wasn't out, just mine. I turned back to the room, and that's when I saw them. Not one, not two. Dozens. Flickers. Everywhere. In the corner by the TV, behind the couch, along the ceiling. Thin, twisted shapes, bending and jerking like broken film frames. I couldn't look straight at them. They vanished when I tried. But they were there, swarming the edges of my sight. My knees buckled, and I grabbed the windowsill, the wood splintering under my nails. I wanted to scream, but my throat locked up, a whimper choking out instead. I ran for the bedroom, tripping over the coffee table, my shins slamming into the edge. Pain shot up my leg, but I didn't stop. The hall was a tunnel, the walls closing in. I threw the bedroom door open, slammed it shut, and backed against it, my hands scrabbling for the lock. I turned on the lamp, nothing. The switch, nothing. The room was black, the blinds shut tight, and they were in here too. I saw them, or didn't see them, crawling at the fringes, by the dresser, under the bed, along the ceiling. Tall, bent, silent. I pressed my back harder against the door, my palms slick with sweat. My eyes darted, trying to catch them, but they slipped away, always just out of reach. My breath came in gasps, ragged and loud, the only sound in the room. I don't know how long I stood there. Minutes, hours. My legs gave out eventually, and I slid to the floor, knees pulled to my chest. I stared at the dark, waiting for them to come closer, to touch me. They didn't. They just watched, flickering, endless. When the lamp clicked on, I screamed. The light flooded back, weak and yellow, and the room was empty again. The clock blinked 3:33 a.m. I scrambled up, checked the hall, the living room. Lights worked, fridge hummed. Everything normal, but I wasn't. I haven't slept since. It's Wednesday now. Or maybe Thursday. I don't know. I sit here, on the couch, lights on, staring at the walls. They're still there, I think. I see them sometimes, a twitch, a blur. I don't look too hard anymore. Don't want to know. The movie's still in my head, that guy screaming, clawing. Was he me? Am I him? I don't know what they are, where they came from. Maybe they've always been here, waiting. Maybe the movie just showed me how to see them. The blinds are rattling now, soft like fingers brushing the slats. I won't look. I can't. But I feel it. Them, watching. And I wonder, If I turn my head just right, will they stay this time?
If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and please subscribe. Your support will help us tremendously. Thank you.